okay, this is a game of chess right now, and I am probably going to be better at chess than you because I've been doing this for a long time. What's up, everybody? Rob Peretti here, and we're going to talk about fixing your own rental car to save yourself money. Now, this is one of those things that I just did this in Europe because of what happened, and people commented like, "Oh, weren't you annoyed? Didn't you complain when other people fixed your rental car?" Here is the difference, because there was a huge difference. I've had people fix their rental cars. They say they rented it for 3 weeks, right? They damaged it in the first week. What's the purpose? If they give it back to me early, they get no credit. So if they just send it to a body shop, get it repaired properly, then why would I care? The thing that I don't get, because different companies treat things differently, and the reason I fixed the tire on the wheel damage that Siobhan did to the M4 in the front splitter is because of what Sixt did to us previously. Previously, Sixt, I curbed the wheel. I figured, whatever, 150 bucks, 200 bucks, whatever it's going to cost them to refinish that wheel. Didn't think too much about it. But then they stuck it to me. They charged me $1,800 for a wheel that was easily refinished. There was no rotational vibration. There was no bend in it. There was nothing shy of repairing that wheel, very simply, that would have led them to charge me 1,800 euros or dollars, whatever it was. I've had people in the past repair my cars improperly. They swap a part, they do that. That's where I have a problem. If you want to, on your own dime and your own time, fix my car and save me the trouble, as long as the repair is good, I'm good with it, because it's the same thing I would have done. And for me, it's weird, because why would you repair your own wheel? We had that on the Porsche. Why would you repair my wheel and spend a lot of money, or whatever, spend the same amount of money I'm going to spend and do a crappier job on it, right? That guy did a crappy job repairing that wheel, and that's where I was annoyed by it, because I don't charge a lot. I charge 200 bucks, $250, depending on the wheel, to repair it. That's pretty much what we're paying for it, plus a couple of bucks for the guy who has to go bring it over to the shop and bring it back. So like, you're not saving yourself anything there. I don't charge you loss of use. I don't charge you for a new wheel. I don't do any of that. But not everybody knows this. Everybody, if you're first time renting from me, you're let me fix it. I get it. But it's when you do things that you're trying to fix something on the cheap and you end up screwing me is when I end up having a problem. Because like, perfect example, imagine you get a flat tire and then you put a Sumitomo on it when it's got 4 cup tires on it or something like that. You have 4 PS4Ss. Now it's got 3 PS4Ss and a mismatching Sumitomo. That does me no benefit. The only thing you've done is allowed you to drive the car back, and now I'm going to have to swap the tire, and if I figure out who it is, then bill you for that tire anyway. So you've not saved yourself any money. You've only made the car, it's questionable. I want to say less safe technically, but it's not the end of the world, but it's not the safest thing to do, to mismatch tires. But that's a situation where, you know what, you've now made the car slightly less safe, and you didn't save yourself any money. You just essentially paid for 2 tires versus 1. Now with Sixt, the reason we fixed the car is because I don't want to pay $4,000 for something that should cost $600, and that's exactly why we fixed it. Fast forward, how did I get around, like, when I wasn't expecting to get ripped off on that Mclaren? You remember the Mclaren with all the rock chips? Well, I figured out a way around that. And this is like, you can't, I've been doing this for so long. Like, I know the game. I see what's going on. These people, and I'm hired as an expert witness all the time by insurance companies, by all sorts of people that need to sort through this crap that is this industry. And here, I'll get into one of those cases in a second, but here I'm going with the guy who was trying to charge us $100,000 for rock chips on the Mclaren. And I was like, all right, look, I get it. We did the rock chips. I am not disputing the fact that we got rock chips on the car, and the 2 wheels were curbed. 2 wheels very easily refinished. You're charging me $14,000 or $15,000. That's not cool. Then you're telling me you're going to charge me all this money for rock chips. I would have sort of been okay at like $20,000 to be like, look, it's 20 grand to repaint the whole thing and do what you got to do. No big deal. Instead, he tried to hammer it down, and I was like, all right, dude, if this is the case, if you want to charge me 100 grand in rock chips, I'm just going to buy that car off of you, and I'll fix it myself. So here, no harm, no foul, no loss of use, no diminished value. You just give me car. I give you money for car. I essentially rented my own car. He's like, oh, sorry, I already fixed it. Where's my 100 grand? And I was like, okay, this is a game of chess right now. And I am probably going to be better at chess than you because I've been doing this for a long time. And that's when I was like, you know what? Defrauding me is one thing, right? Just to put one over on me, it's up to me to either file a lawsuit or they sue me or whatever, and then we have to go back and forth. Lawyers get involved. It gets expensive. Or I make an insurance claim. So I made an insurance claim. And now committing insurance fraud is significantly worse than trying to defraud your customer. So now, this is now 3 months later, and the insurance company, I was like, look, here's the deal. Here's what's going on. Did I cause rock chips? Absolutely. Did I curb two wheels? Absolutely. Are they doing something shady? I would just make sure that if they are replacing all those parts, you get me the receipts, you get me this. I didn't even give them the follow-up where we found out the guy already repaired the car. Not replaced anything, but repaired the car. So now this guy's in such a weird position because now his only play, this is like the checkmate. His only play is to commit insurance fraud. And you're not going to win that one. You're going to commit insurance fraud. I'm going to tell the insurance company, hey, by the way, this is fraud. You can hire me as an expert witness. Yeah, it's all coming full circle. You can hire me as an expert witness, and we'll put these guys down. And it was such a weird play to spend so much money to rent all these cars for a week and to pay for everything else, and then to have this sort of like shoved at you. And this is like lay people put up with this. Like a lot of people put up with this, that they just get taken advantage of. And insurance companies even are okay getting taken advantage of. I've got a case that I'm an expert witness on where a car got in an accident. You know, somebody bumped into him, minor damage, drove it home, no big deal. And he got like significant money, like over $50,000 to fix his car, right? But he wasn't good there. He wanted to hammer it down. And I'm like looking at this, I'm like, that's whatever. It's $5,000 in repaired. Like this is not $50,000. But the guy got his $50,000. You guys, you've already passed that section. You're coming to me on the other section for loss of use and diminished value. And I'm going to tell you, like this guy was claiming 75 days to repair the car. I'm like, it's a long time. It's a long time for such a basic repair. And even the estimate was like 12 hours, 15 hours after a supplement. It was like nothing. There's no way to justify 75 days of downtime on this. Then you go into these other things. You start looking into it, and I can pull these things apart. I've seen all this crap. And then when you start saying, all right, well, show me the invoices. We're not even talking about now the repair, but show me the invoices from the repair so I can see to justify, were the parts delayed? Did you pay for the parts on this date and they didn't show up to that date? Looks like the guy didn't even repair the car or didn't even put any new parts on, like I said they wouldn't. So the guy's already made $50,000, $45,000 off of the repair, just fixing it the way anyone else normally would, but the insurance company already overpaid him. He took that money and he's so greedy that he keeps going, and it's just not going to work out for him. That's the way things happen. It's like, this is just so standard in this industry that the insurance company's like, and I don't know the legality here. This is one of those things. It's legal gray area. You can argue it either way. And I think this is my take on it. If an insurance company comes to you after your car is in an accident, right? And they say, all right, 10 grand to fix your car. We can repair this, repair that. And you say, no, this is my baby. I don't want to repair it. I want factory parts. I want you to go scoop me up a brand new Lamborghini bumper. That's $35,000. I mean, all right, but it's just, no. You get me that Lamborghini bumper. And then they're like, fine. $35,000 Lamborghini bumper. Now, you don't put that Lamborghini bumper on after they pay you for it. I believe that's fraud. I think that's illegal because you're now taking something that they said you didn't need, which you're not essentially doing. If you go buy that bumper, great. You could go buy that bumper. You take the old bumper. You could sell it. You could hang it on your wall. You could turn it into a Christmas tree, put lights all over it, whatever you want to do. Bonfire, give it away to fans. You can do whatever you want. But what you can't do is after you, and even if they come from the beginning and say, we think it needs a new bumper. And you're like, you know what? I'm just going to fix it. And they give you the $35,000 up front. I don't think that's fraud. And you can just fix it. If You decide, you get your check for $35,000 and you're like, you know what? I love driving around beat up cars. I'm going to just drive the thing around with the bumper hanging off. There's nothing illegal about that. They're giving you a check to repair your car. You choose not to repair it. That's one thing. It's when you try to add the supplemental damage. Once it's appraised and then you say, no, 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 I need these things, and you don't really need those things or you don't replace those things, is where I think it's fraud. I could be wrong. If they agree to it, that may make it kosher, that you can then replace it, not replace it, whatever you want. But to me, and I guess lawyers out there, I do have lawyers, believe it or not, I've got everybody that watches this channel. It's like, I'm never surprised anymore. It's like, oh crap, is anyone a neurosurgeon? Boom, I got 6 neurosurgeons emailing me. I'm like, way to go. And I guess the confines of the car world know no bounds, and that's cool. Like, a lot of different people are into cars. So this is how I have now, this is my stance effectively. If you damage something and you want to fix it, knock yourself out. Are you going to save any money with me? No. The only thing you're going to save with me is time. So say you damage a car, and instead of driving it damaged for the rest of your rental, you return it to me, you're mitigating your loss of use. So say you damage a car, you make it unrentable. Whatever, you smash a windshield on day one, and you get a new windshield of a 7-day rental, you get a new windshield day 3, you swap the windshield yourself. I've got no problem with that. As long as it's the right windshield, goes on, installed, same thing I would have done. But if you drive it for the week, and then I can't rent it to somebody else because you smashed the windshield, you're now going to have to pay for the same windshield you've already just paid for, but you'll also have to pay for the downtime that I can't rent it. So you're able to avoid and mitigate some of those costs like that. If you fix it crappily, if you put the wrong windshield on, you put a Jeep windshield on a Ferrari, guess what? You're paying for 2 windshields. You're paying for the job twice. You're not doing yourself any favors. But this is why if I damage a car, depending on who I damage it with, if I'm cool with somebody, like if I rent a car, and like the car that I just damaged in Europe, the red RS3, 500 euros, there is no winning there. I couldn't have fixed that myself for 500 euros. Windshield and front bumper, this guy's going to paint it, do all that stuff for 500 euros. Here's your check. See you later. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. So that's when I'll repair a rental car, when I won't repair a rental car, when you should repair a rental car, or when you should just call up and say like, hey, if I did this, what's the cost of that? Look up what the actual cost of repairs. Don't cheap out on the repairs. Going and getting a can of spray paint and trying to make it so they can't see it, you're not going to do yourself any favor. You're going to waste time. You're going to make it look like crap, and that's not how you do it. Also, I want to give a shout out. Also, I want to give a shout out to the winner, Paul Barry. He came on the trip, and that's a big thumbs up to him. He came, he rented the car. Now, people ask me, like, how are all these people winning your trips and renting cars? Like, why do they have so much money? Not everybody that's won the trip so far. I've had 4 or 5 winners, and a lot of times they'll elect to rent a car. The first time it actually beat me up because I rented the car for the 2 winners on our previous Europe trip, and they ended up damaging the car. Even with the insurance, it cost me like $4 grand, more than I was expecting. So that stinks a little bit. But now I just tell people like you can come on the trip, we'll give you a ride, you'll jump in with me, you'll jump in with Shavam, whoever you end up driving with. And it works out because a lot of these people are like, look, whether they make $1 trillion or not, they're like, look, I get this entire trip for free. This is sort of a once in a lifetime experience. I'm going to throw the money. I want to drive my own car. I don't want to just go sit in the dugout. I want to go play on the field with you guys. And that's what you end up seeing, and that's why Paul rented the Fiat Abarth, and that's not what he wanted, but since we're only 2 or 3 days before the trip, that was really all that was left. That was the best option. But manual car, it was tuned, he had a good time, so congratulations to him. I'm going to do another giveaway soon for the Scotland trip. That's coming up in October, so if you guys want to join us in Scotland, and I don't think there's many spaces left. We just have to go through the list and see. But feel free to hit us up at adventuredrives.com. Link in the description. Thank you for watching. Rob Ferretti. I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you tomorrow. So you guys are familiar with my other company, Adventure Drives, right? Well, we're going to be going to Scotland in October. We're going to be doing Scotch distilleries, playing golf at St. Andrews if you want to do that, walking around, seeing lakes, waterfalls, driving the North Coast. It's going to be an amazing trip. Prices start as low as $2,500 per person for the shorter trip in Scotland. If you're interested in going, check out the link in the description.